Two Democrats buckled like cheap lawn chairs in the Supreme Court fight. So the Hill reports, Senator Heidi Heitkamp on Thursday became the second Senate Democrat publicly planning to vote for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee, Neil Gorsuch, joining Senator Joe Manchin. www.D-W.Va. Quote, after doing my due diligence by meeting with Judge Gorsuch and reviewing his record and testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee, I've decided to vote in favor of his confirmation, Heitkamp said in a statement. She added that Gorsuch is, and I quote, balanced, meticulous, and a well-respected jurist who understands the rule of law. Heitkamp's announcement came moments after Manchin became the first Senate Democrat publicly backing Gorsuch. I will vote to confirm Judge Neil Gorsuch to be the 9th justice on the Supreme Court, Manchin tweeted. Okay, so now let's put all the BS aside and let me tell you what this is really about. Heidi Heitkamp is a senator from North Dakota. Joe Manchin is a senator from West Virginia. These are so-called blue dog Democrats, which means they're Democrats from red states. So they're scared they're going to lose in the next election if they don't buckle and do Trump's bidding. So they're buckling and doing Trump's bidding. Here's the problem. They're wrong in their political calculation that they have to buckle and they have to do Trump's bidding. So right now, Donald Trump's approval rating is 35%. It's the worst in 72 years for a president at this point in their presidency. I mean, his popularity was never that good. You know, it's just that Hillary Clinton was despised that much more that, you know, the right states fell for Trump for him to win the Electoral College. So on Election Day, he had a 60% unfavorability rating. Right now, he has a 60% unfavorability rating. So they're scared, but there's no reason to be scared. And you could tell that this is a purely political move because of how they explain their vote. Did you hear any specific decision referenced or any policy issue referenced? No, he is balanced and meticulous and a well-respected jurist who understands the rule of law. What does that mean? After doing my due diligence by meeting him and reviewing his record and testimony, I've decided to vote in favor. Okay, but so give me any specifics. Give me a decision where you say, you know what, I really agreed with him on that decision and I thought that was bold and correct. They don't say it. They don't say it because they're just playing politics. And again, the irony is the thing that they're doing that they think is going to save their ass is going to get their ass kicked out of office. I'm telling you, man, the people in Washington are so lost, they have no clue as to what the right thing to do is for the people and what the right thing to do is for their own careers and for their own futures. Because Bernie Sanders, for example, just did a town hall in West Virginia, Joe Manchin's state. He got a room full of Trump voters to cheer free college and single-payer health care. How did he do that? Well, he did that because he understands those things are universally popular. It's not like they all voted for Trump because, you know, they said Trump is a principled conservative who would appoint somebody like Scalia, and we love Scalia. They do not care about ideology. They care, are you going to help me or are you not going to help me? Trump sounded on the campaign trail more populist, less corrupt, more for them getting jobs. So they went, okay, we'll vote for him. But they've extrapolated that to, they love Trump and they're in favor of anybody he would pick. Neil Gorsuch has a voting record that is totally in favor of management and against labor, the working class. Why would you vote for this? Why would you vote in favor of him, to approve him? All you have to do is go out there and say, of course I'm not going to support Neil Gorsuch. Look at his record on labor cases. He always sides against labor and votes with management. You think the people in West Virginia are like, man, I really can't wait for Trump to pick somebody to be on the Supreme Court who's totally in favor of management and against labor? No, they're all working class people. Of course they want somebody who's going to support labor. That's why they're cheering Bernie Sanders. They were thanking him. They said stuff like, isn't it strange that you you're a senator, a socialist senator from the Northeast, and you are more in favor of helping me than Mitch McConnell, a senator from Kentucky, another coal state. Isn't that strange? They were saying this to Bernie Sanders' face. He's the most liked politician in America, 61% favorability rating. Hillary Clinton, 35%. Donald Trump, 35%. And they're trying to follow the guy with the 35% rating and do what he wants? How stupid are you? By the way, during the primary, Bernie Sanders won the Midwest overwhelmingly. Now, the dirty little secret about that is in exit polling, they would ask people, hey, how do you describe yourself? And of course, you're in the Midwest, most people say conservative. But then they ask the people who describe themselves as conservative, who did you vote for in this Democratic primary? The people who said conservative voted more for Bernie Sanders. Now, that makes no sense because, again, Hillary Clinton is clearly more conservative. She's objectively more conservative than Bernie Sanders. But that's just the point. They'll say, hey, I'm conservative. But then you ask them, hey, do you support Medicare for all? Yes. Do you support raising the minimum wage? Yes. Do you want to get out of these wars? Yes. Do you support free college? Yes. So they say they're conservative. They think they're conservative, but they don't know the labels. They just, yeah, I'm conservative, but I like that guy. He's a truth teller talking about Bernie. So they're just following Trump off a cliff, and they think they're saving themselves, but they're really stabbing themselves in the back. Gee, they're so stupid, and everybody in Washington is totally convinced. I can't tell you how many interviews I've done for Justice Democrats where the question gets brought up, hey, what if it's at odds, the idea of pulling the Democratic Party left and winning more? Hold the fuck up. We've been doing the neoliberal, centrist New Democrat strategy since the 1990s. What has it gotten us? They've been taking the corporate money. They've been taking the PAC money and the billionaire money. They've been running centrist campaigns. And what happened? The Republicans have the presidency, majority in the Senate, majority in the House, majority of state legislatures, and a majority of governorships. It is empirical. It is objective to point out that their approach has failed. I mean, look at the best example of this is Allison Lundergan Grimes, ran against Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's approval rating, it was one of the worst in the Senate. I mean, he was so vulnerable in Kentucky. He's despised. She somehow lost to him. Why? Because she ran as Republican light. She said, look, here I am holding a gun, and I love the Second Amendment. She wouldn't even say she voted for Obama when asked during the race. She's running as a Democrat. She won't even say it. They're just weak Democrats. So, but they say the answer is weaker Democrats. Let's run weaker Democrats. They're gonna get their clocks cleaned because they already have gotten their clocks cleaned. How do you not see this? So, here we are. The weak Democrats, the blue dog Democrats, the right-wing Democrats, the corporate Democrats, they're like, I got it. Let's be weaker, let's be more right-wing, let's be more corporatist, and let's give Trump whatever he wants. Or, counterpoint, actually vote on the side of the overwhelming majority of the American people. Do the overwhelming majority of the American people want a justice who sides with management over labor? No. Do the overwhelming majority of the people want a justice who sided with a business to fire a guy who would have frozen to death if he followed their orders? No. Do the overwhelming majority of the American people want a justice who wrote a book about how physician-assisted suicide, even for terminally ill patients, is immoral and unethical and wrong and should be illegal? No! The majority of the American people support physician-assisted suicide, especially in cases if somebody's terminally ill and they're in excruciating pain. Do the overwhelming majority of the American people support theocracy, like Neil Gorsuch does when he says, hey, I'm with Hobby Lobby, and I think the owner of a business should be able to dictate to the employee whether they can and can't have birth control in their health insurance plan? No! No! So you go down the list of his decisions. Do the overwhelming majority of the American people support money in politics? No! But here we have it. We have sellout, weak Democrats who are just Republican light, thinking that being more Republican light is going to save them when it's going to hurt them. JusticeDemocrats.com, because we want to primary them. Heidi Heitkamp, Joe Manchin, we're coming for you. We want to primary you. And they think, yeah. Even, other Democrats who mean well, but they don't know anything about strategy and they don't know anything about the history of this stuff. They think, oh, really? That's what you want to hand the seat over to the Republicans. That's what you want to do. The only kind of person who can say that is one who doesn't actually believe progressive values and liberal values have appeal, and one who doesn't know the polling data that proves it does. So if you make that argument, you're a tool of the rich and the elites and the establishment. That's what you are. You don't even realize it, but you are. You want to hand the seat over to the Republicans by running somebody who's actually progressive who would get a lot of support? No, see, but that's the thing. They wouldn't lose. If they're progressive and they're a good candidate, they agree with the American people and they'll win. They act like it. No, you can't have a progressive win in those places. Except when you poll the people in those places issue by issue, they love progressives. They just don't know that. They don't know that the label progressive applies to them. So run somebody who talks about the issues and hammers the issues, and they can beat Joe Manchin, and they can beat whatever dumbass Republican comes up. Please. So they have the strategy 100% wrong, and they're trying to hand the Supreme Court back to the ultra-conservatives. I mean, Scalia died, and they want to replace him with baby Scalia. That's who this is. Neil Gorsuch cried when he learned Scalia died. He said, I was skiing down a mountain and couldn't see because of the tears in my eyes. So you want to replace Scalia with baby Scalia. And then you expect Democrats, you expect liberals and progressives to go vote for you and support you. If it wasn't so sad, it would just be adorable.